Hi, my name's Andy. Welcome along to my video. This one's about why I tour on a folding bike and how I got started cycle touring on a folding bike. So thanks for watching my videos if you're a subscriber. If you're new to my channel, then consider subscribing because I put out a lot of dedicated folding bike tour videos. So how did I get started riding a folding bike? Well, on my first tour, I was in the Netherlands and I started riding south with a mountain bike. It was a pretty decent sort of setup and it was quite fast. I put all these carriers and things on the bicycle so that I could carry all my gear. At the end of my trip, after I'd cycled a couple of thousand kilometers, I had to take a bus trip back to London and I couldn't take the bike with me. So I ended up giving it away to a homeless guy that I just randomly met on the street somewhere in France. So forward to my next trip, I ended up in Japan, and for those of you who have seen the video, I decided to buy a bike from Craigslist. And I bought a folding bike because I'd met some people in Kyoto that were touring on folding bikes, and they said it was great. It was a great way to tour because it was easy to move the bikes around on airplanes and trains and things. So the bike I got was this Beam folding bike, 10,000 yen. I paid for it, and I proceeded to ride south out of Tokyo. There weren't that many cycle paths along the way. I think this was the only one I encountered, 7.5 Ks. I didn't have a tent at that point. I was just sleeping under a tarpaulin with my sleeping bag. And then sometimes I would also stay in internet cafes. Some of them were really nice. That one was really quite comfortable. So was that one. Had a computer and all that so I could make videos. And I just started riding. I decided to ride around Mount Fuji, which was a bit ambitious, but I pulled it off and met a bunch of cool people along the way and ended up doing some really cool stuff. Eventually I got a tent, which meant that I could stay in parks and in the forest and things, save a bit of money. There it is on the bike. So that's how the bike looked, all loaded up on my first tour of Japan. And when it came time to leave Japan, I wanted to take the bike, so having the folding bike was just perfect. I figured that within the IATA requirements for baggage, I could probably squeeze it in there, and I started to pack it down. This is somewhere near the airport at Narita, so I was packing it down. I decided I would pack the tent in there as well, and just wrap the whole thing in my tarpaulin, and then tape it up. So that's what it looked like. It was round about the right dimensions to fly on the plane. And then I thought, well, let's go to the airport, grab the plane to London. They took the baggage. Long story short, arrived in London and decided that I wanted to continue touring through England and through Europe. So I met up with Mel in London and we had plans to travel around Europe for about 3 months, and I arrived with a bike and we thought, well, what the hell, we'll try and get another one of these folding bikes. They work out really good. It already has been proven that it's easy to take it on the airplane, and we're going to use them to get around Europe. So we're planning to go through France, Germany, the Netherlands, Luxembourg, and so that's what we did. So we bought a bike from an online retailer that was based in Czech Republic, of all places. They shipped it out to England and this is what arrived. It cost £80 and we set about having a bit of a test run. So taking it on the train was just perfect. It's quite small. All of the trains in Europe pretty much let you have a bicycle, and if you have a folding bicycle, you don't have to pay any extra. so we didn't have to pay any extra anywhere. Sometimes we were asked to fold them, and sometimes we didn't have to. Also, we took buses. It involved packing the bikes down again into tarpaulins and wrapping it up like it was luggage. Took a bit of time, but you try taking a normal sized bicycle on a bus, like it's really just not going to happen. So another benefit of having these bikes was camping. If we decided to take a train somewhere and then go into the forest and go camping, it was much easier to get around, and it kind of gives you an excuse for being there. If you are just out there camping in the forest, it can be considered kind of strange, but if you're riding a bike, then that's your main reason for being there. When I was out camping in the forest on my own, sometimes I wouldn't even use the tent. I'd just sleep on a tarpaulin with the sleeping bag. Also, where it came in handy was hotel rooms. You could easily fold the bike and put it in the corner of the room. Again, try doing that with a full-size bike. So there you go, that's a few reasons why I like to ride a folding bike on cycle tours. If you're interested in seeing how my bike looks now, this is a photo of it here. As it looks today, a little bit fancier. So thanks a lot for watching my video on why I choose to ride a folding bike on a cycle tour. If you liked the video, consider subscribing. It makes it easier to find more of this content. And if you want to know anything else, like drop something down in the comments. You can ask me other questions about folding bike touring and wild camping and stuff like that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.